All right, guys, so today we're going to be shaking it up a little bit and talking about quite possibly one of my favorite bag designs, the Dooney and Bourke IT collection. Interested to see where this is going? Stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Caleb, and on here you're going to find a lot of things like luxury shopping, reveals, reviews, unboxings, luxury travel, daily vlogs, which my weekend vlogs have been amazing. If that's something you're into, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, give this video a thumbs up, say hi down in the comments. Find me over on Instagram, caleb.snell.designer. I post new content every Wednesday and Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Central Time. And through the month of October, and maybe through the rest of the year, we'll have to see, I'm going to be posting my weekend vlogs every Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time as well. That's like 3 days of Caleb. 3 out of 7 is not bad, right? Is that too much? Is it too little? I don't know. You be the judge. Today, we have one of my gorgeous Louis Vuitton Multicolore bags out. You're like, Caleb, you said we're talking about Dooney and Bourke. We are. Don't you fret. Let me reintroduce you to one of the best handbag collections of the early 2000s, the Dooney and Bourke IT collection. You're like, Caleb, what is going on? I know you're confused. I love that about you. Stay confused, stay curious. That's why you're here. I love it. Welcome. Dooney and Bourke IT. This was the end-all be-all for all high school girls and gay boys across the United States in the early 2000s, hence the Y2K vibes. You're welcome. I loved this collection back then, and a lot of my friends had bags from this collection, wallets, you name it. Everyone had something from this collection in high school, except for me. But I do know, I have a lot of this. Peter Dooney came up with the idea that he needed to kind of reinvigorate the brand. And let's admit that Dooney and Bourke in the early 2000s is not the same Dooney and Bourke we have now. Like, Dooney and Bourke was everywhere throughout the 90s, everywhere in the 2000s, and then somewhere in the 2015s kind of fell off. Mid 2010s, right? What'd you say? Yeah, Zane's shaking his head. Yes, he's in agreement, because I'm right. Eventually, Dooney and Bourke kind of fell off. Unfortunately, it's still a fabulous brand. They still make great things, except for that Florentine Vachetta commercial where they're all carrying massive handbags to dinner. Don't understand what that's about. Like I said, Peter Dooney was trying to find a way to reinvigorate the younger customer and get them into the brand, which quite honestly is really good marketing if you think about it. Snag them while they're young and then like keep them with the brand. It creates loyalty. They kind of grow up with it. But I mean, you still have to keep coming up with cool things. So they kind of failed in that regard. This was originally considered from the Graphica collection. And the Graphica collection itself features a coated canvas, but not like the Louis Vuitton coated canvas, which is like a silk screen printed coated canvas. This one is literally a woven fabric canvas covered in a clear polyvinyl. And that's why this collection ages so badly, but we'll get to that here in a minute. So back then, Peter Dooney sent a group of, I want to say like 20 handbag specialists from Dooney with like 4 FIT undergrads to Milan, Italy to kind of go to different trade shows. It was a whirlwind weekend apparently. They even went up to Switzerland to find the rainbow zipper, which we'll talk about here in a second. Thus born was the IT collection. And let me tell you, I lived for this stuff back in the day. Back then, I think I only had like a couple wristlets and the coin holder, which I have again. Lost them in the first fire. If you haven't yet watched that video, link down below, everything I lost in a fire or bags I've lost along the way. I don't know what it's called, but you'll find it. Why did I buy this stuff? Because I couldn't quite afford things like this at the time. I didn't feel like getting my big Speedy out of the closet. It's all the way in the back right now. I'm feeling lazy, so Miss Maryland's come out today. With the Dooney and Bourke IT collection, it ran for, I want to say, a good 10 years. It's hard to find. It is nearly impossible to find. Why? So this was marketed to a young customer back in the day. You're thinking like, you know, young persons who quite haven't had a designer handbag yet, don't know how to take care of it. Daddy will buy me a new one. Let's throw it around. And they eventually fell apart. It is what it is. A lot of the Graphica collection did fall apart because the polyvinyl on the black, it'll either fog, and then on the white, which this is a pretty decent example, it will yellow. You can kind of see the yellowing starting to come up here at the top, which is a total shame. So far to date, no one has figured out a way that I'm aware of on how to get rid of the yellowing. So one of these days, I do want to find like an older piece that isn't very rare that I can kind of practice on, because there has to be a way with like maybe LED lights or, you know, just different solutions. I even want to try like the stuff for like the sneaker soles that you can kind of spray on and get rid of. Anyway, beside the point, one of these days I'm going to try it. As I was saying, this collection is incredibly hard to come across. You have to search either Dooney and Bourke IT, which doesn't bring up a whole lot. Dooney and Bourke Multicolor brings up some, but for some reason Dooney and Bourke Rainbow brings up the most hits. And it is so frustrating as a collector because this stuff is so hard to find, especially in good condition. So some of the pieces I'm going to share with you today, they're okay. They're meh. They're not great. Some of them though are pretty darn good considering their age and the material that they're made out of. Now, some people, very brave souls, are finding ways to actually peel the polyvinyl off and literally just leave the fabric underneath. It looks pretty, but then you also have like the jagged plastic hanging out from underneath the edge here. Not something I would recommend. Now, in my collection, you've already seen a few pieces in one of my recent thrift hauls, but I've added 3 really big pieces. They're low-key fire, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna share with you what I already had in my collection and then reveal my 3 newest pieces. And then I need your opinion on one because I effed up. I made a mistake. It does happen, not often, but this was a mistake. So you're like, Caleb, like get on with it. Let's see some bags. You're right. That's fine. I just wanted to give you some history, but if you're not here for that, totally understand. Let's dive into the bags. First up, the one that I have been holding, this is called the North-South flat bag. Original retail for this was like $89. No, this was $98. A designer handbag underneath $100. What? That's crazy town. So I love this bag. The main reason is that it has this long crossbody strap. I'm a tall guy, I'm 6'7", and this actually looks really cute on me, not gonna lie. And it's adjustable. So if you wanted to make it like shorter, like just have it like over the shoulder, you can take out this portion of the strap and it's literally just like that. Like how cute is that? It's cute, I'm not gonna lie. Now with this, you have a slip pocket on the back, which before I got my new phone, did fit my iPhone 11 Pro Max. It slides down there, sticks out a little bit. Now I have this giant pop socket. I keep wanting to say POG, but it's not the 90s. Pop socket. I mean, you get the idea. Probably doesn't fit very well. Now the interior underneath the snap is literally just the black backside of the coated canvas, and it's pretty roomy. There aren't any interior pockets. No, there's not any interior pockets. So this is really cute for just like weekend runs down to the Starbucks, which I think I've worn this once or twice. So then next up in my collection was the mini rectangle flap. No, it's not Chanel, it's still Dooney and Bourke. This one was $89. This is the smaller size. So you can get an East-West flap in a little bit larger size. It's kind of comparable to this one. I haven't found one in good shape yet. There is a white one that I have my eye on, but it's missing the shoulder strap extension. So I would have to make sure the vachetta matched my other one, which might be kind of a hassle. So this one has a little slip pocket on the back, not big enough for a phone, unfortunately. And much like the other one, it's just a flap interior. There's no pockets, black plain canvas lining. What I did love about this collection though is the majority of the handbags had like a blue cornflower lining that matched the blue edge coat trim. I thought that's kind of a cute idea. Now I will say, sadly enough, this one is not in very good condition. So aside from the yellowing and fogging, bubbling is another problem, which you can kind of see right here. It's a bummer. I love the bag, but this one does have, I think, 2 bubbles. They look like little blisters more than anything. Kind of hard to clock when you're wearing it and walking around, but when you're just looking at it, like it jumps out at you. It's a bummer, not gonna lie. Now, size-wise, like I said, these are pretty similar, but this did come in a bigger version, which I'm on the lookout for. Now, these all came with the enamel heart, which is kind of lame, not gonna lie. I take this off when I carry this bag, not gonna lie. As a collector, I like having everything, you know, with the item. I'm a 33-year-old man. I don't need to be walking around with a heart. I said what I said, don't hate me. Now, that covers the bags that you've already seen in my collection. Now let's talk about some SLGs, because the SLGs from this collection were low-key fire. Zane's mom, Laura, has the long zip wallet. I might have to steal that when we go home for Thanksgiving. Laura, you've been warned. I'm raiding your closet. With this collection, this piece is incredibly hard to find. This is the coin holder with the front zip pocket. Now they had a slim coin holder that was very popular. This size, not so much. The other style you can find time and time again. This style I had to search and search and search for. Back in the day, I originally had this in the white version. I loved that thing. Like that was low key. I was living my best Paris Hilton, Louis Vuitton Multicolore vibes. Now it's back in my collection. Now I don't carry coins. It's 2022 and in America we really don't use cash. So I use this to carry my nasty, rotten old Bose headphones. They just slide right in. This is just a fun little piece to have in your bag. It's enough Dooney and Bourke without being too much Dooney and Bourke, if you get what I mean. Also, I like that this has a little slip pocket here on the backside for cards. And this is a good example of what that blue cornflower interior would look like. Love this piece. It's fun to carry and it kind of complements, well, Wow, that looks really bad together. Never mind, it doesn't complement at all anymore. Keeping along the line of SLGs, this is another piece. I did have this in my collection and I had the white. This one I actually found recently on eBay and I don't think it was ever used. So the vachetta trim on here is still pale. The body of the wristlet does have a little bit of yellowing, which is kind of a bummer, but look at that fun rainbow zipper. Like that's a vibe. I wish companies had fun with things like that still. Kind of a bummer. Now, for some reason, the small wristlet came with a key holder. I don't really see, like this thing is thin and it doesn't really have much give. So I'm wondering how like you got your keys in here back in the day, if you did, or did you just leave them hanging out on the side? I don't know. If you had this piece, let me know down in the comments. Would you keep your keys in here or would you let them hang down on the side? I'm totally confused why this is in there. It takes up more space than anything. So back in the day, I actually used this thing for my little Fujifilm digital camera because I like taking pictures when we were out and about, and I always had a camera in my bag. Now I just do it all on this. So I don't really need this anymore, but I kind of just bought it for just having it from a collector's standpoint. Yes, it has the stupid heart on there. I hate the heart. Hated it then, I still don't like it. Now this next piece, this is probably my most used from this collection, and that is the small cosmetics bag. Now this is pretty comparable to the Posh Toilette 15, however much smaller and much more rigid, so it doesn't really hold that much. The interior, just again, plain cornflower blue. This one does have some yellowing around the edges and seams, but it's not that bad. I'm low-key practicing different ways to store these so that way they don't fall apart as quickly. So I'm trying to figure out, like, should it be in a dust bag? Should it be in a box? Should it just be out? Like, what's the best way to keep this polyvinyl looking fresh? Now it does have this little snap pocket here at the end, so that way you could, you know, kind of open it a little bit longer. But again, this polyvinyl does not give much room. You've made it through the pieces you've already seen. Congratulations, love that for you. Thank you for being so patient. Let's talk about 3 new pieces, and one is kind of a major vibe. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm so excited to have this. First and foremost, this piece is incredibly rare. So this is the small jewelry box. And as you can tell, it's very yellow and it's going to be going into the freezer because it has terrible cigarette odor. I didn't really notice it at first, but wow, this thing stinks. Yeah, that's bad. Okay, so I'm thinking some of the yellowing is probably nicotine because as you can tell, it's a pretty good difference. Now this piece, they took terrible photos. It looked a lot whiter in the pictures, I'm not gonna lie. Also, it's rare enough that I didn't want to risk not getting another one. So I immediately, I think I sent them an offer and got it that day. Super cute. I'm not sure what I'm gonna use it for. I just wanted to have it in my collection. So maybe this will just sit on my nightstand once I get rid of the smoke. All right, so this next piece I messed up on. I looked at the exterior, I jumped at it, and it's the wrong thing, and I'm a little disappointed. So let me know what you guys think, but it is none other than the flap wristlet. Now this is what the Dooney and Bourke Multicolore, Dooney and Bourke, it should look like. Not this, see how this is foggy, but this is like perfectly black, crystal clear, and a little bit shiny. This is what it is supposed to look like. So that's why I bought this. I saw it, I jumped on it. I think I sent them an offer, they accepted. I got it and I was immediately disappointed. So the reason I don't like this one as much as I should is because it has the red edge coat and the later button. The earlier buttons were just plain brass. They didn't have Dooney and Bourke inscribed on them. And it should have the cornflower blue edge coat. I messed up. You guys, I was so enamored with this. It's also the wrong interior. So typically these would be like a black interior because it's the back side of the coated canvas. For some reason it's white. So it's a little different. This was a later run in the series, still when they were made in the USA though. So there's that, I guess. But you can kind of see compared to the LV, how similar they are. And I think a lot of this collection kind of came after Takashi Murakami created the Multicolor collection. Because I mean, this was so hot. This was on the arm of every it girl out there. I mean, even a lot of the guys had the luggage. Like this was a vibe, 100%. And it was also at a price point that most high school kids couldn't afford. Trust me, there were tons of fakes walking around my high school. But this is where the majority of the bags were. They were the Multicolor, not the Multicolor, the Dooney and Bourke IT collection. And just kind of seeing it like this, I can understand why LV sued Dooney and Bourke. So with this, what do? Do I keep this in my collection? Do I do a giveaway? Do you guys want to do a giveaway? Do I sell it? I mean, it is a really good example. It's just the wrong edge coat color. I know. You all collect bags in SLGs, so you know what I'm talking about. Like the purist in me wants to have the correct example with the blue edge coat. So this drives me a little crazy, but I mean, it's still kind of cute. It's a vibe. And the red edge coat does kind of match with the LV, so it is what it is. Let me know in the comments, what should I do? This is what you came for, and I am over the moon. I am so excited. So this was actually an eBay battle. When I want something on eBay, I don't bid to lose. I bid to win, and it gets me in trouble sometimes. Okay, so this next piece, this is the Dooney and Bourke IT lunch bag. And it is in, aside from some staining on the vachetta, which, like I said, these were going to be going to younger teenagers who probably didn't understand vachetta and how to take care of things. The canvas itself is in mint condition. It was never folded improperly, so you don't have that like stupid fold in the back, you know, when you like try and like flatten a bag down. It stands perfectly straight up. The handles are still very stiff and rigid. There was no way I was not gonna win this bag. Let me tell you that right now. So originally started out like $20, $30 on eBay, which is fine. Like I was like, okay, you know, it's an obscure bag, it's a Dooney and Bourke, it's not gonna go for much. Well, someone else had the same idea and they started bidding. We had a little bidding war go back and forth. And then finally I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put in an absurd number that would win, because who's gonna bid that much? And if I have to pay that much, well, that sucks. But I was not gonna not have this bag. So I put in like $152, which in the grand scheme of things is like, what? Oh, okay, you know, big roller. But this is a Dooney and Bourke bag, so it should not have gone for that much. Anyway, I think I paid like 80 or 90 all in. But this bag is so stinking cute. So it's just like a little lunch bag, which you could use as like a little tote, you know, running around the city. I love it. It's giving me all the Y2K vibes. The interior, I think they did put a bottle of water in it because the inside does have some foxing, clearly from like a spilt bottle of water or something. Dooney and Bourke, made in the USA. It just smells like someone's house, so it's not like awful. Look how cute that is. Is that not, like, I mean, look at this and tell me that this did not belong in my collection. Like, hello. This is giving me all the Caleb Snell vibes. And high school me would have loved this. I mean, he would have loved this too, but this is a little bit more attainable. I know this is a little different. You know, normally we're talking about luxury, some Coach. I have a problem with Dooney and Bourke, and it's IT collection specific. It's giving me all the LV multicolor vibes that I couldn't afford back in the day, and now I'm recollecting them. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this was fun. A little different than what we normally do, but nonetheless, it's bags, it's SLGs, right? That's what we're here for. Now, if you follow me on social media, then you'll know on Saturday I bought my Hermès dream bag. I have to like pinch myself, like I don't believe it's real. This is so crazy. Anyway, so you're gonna see the weekend vlog go up on Friday. It's gonna document what we did over the weekend, obviously. We had a really good weekend, amazing actually. And there's gonna be some back and forth about my Hermès bag. It was quite the process. I'll let you watch the vlog and then I'll share the story with the unboxing on Sunday. But mark your calendars, Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Time, we are going to be doing the first ever major Hermès unboxing on this channel, and it won't be the last. I'm just gonna be upfront with you now. I'm already eyeing like Lindy's, this, that, and the other. There will be more in my future if my bank account will allow it. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. It's a dream come true. It's been 15, 20 years in the making. I've wanted one of these for so long, and it's actually sitting behind me on my escritoire. My desk, secretary desk in French, I don't know, whatever. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you had fun. I know it was a little quirky, Y2K vibes, whatever. Find me on Friday, the weekend vlog, Sunday, Hermès unboxing. It is what it is. I'm excited. Until then, guys, stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you guys on Friday. All right, bye-bye.